Hello everyone, this is Gnome, and we're here for The Walking Dead, my weekly roundup of what's happening in The Walking Dead. So today's episode 10 from Series 3, we had some actual character development. Rick's in Crazy Town, Glenn's super angry, we get to see the two sides of the governor, the mustache prisoner, I forget his name, gets flirty. And we also learn more about the upbringing of Merle and Daryl. So it was a very nice piece. The episode's kind of very weighted, kind of before and after. We've got lots of character pieces at the beginning bit, and then, like the rest of Series 3, everything's kicked off in the last kind of 15 minutes. So in the kind of cut character pieces, the governor, played brilliantly by David Morrissey as always, basically begs Andrea to take control, and then decides to assault the prison compound himself, and has unbridled glee doing so. There's a real glint in his eye about assaulting it. You can see him just enjoying spraying bullets around, even when he's not aiming at anything, and so fantastically played by David Morrissey. Absolutely knocks it out of the park. We also have some more Merle and Daryl scenes in which we get to see how much of a nice guy and how different the two brothers actually are these days. Daryl goes and tries to rescue some Mexicans stuck on a bridge surrounded by zombies, risking his own life because he hears a baby cry. Whereas Merle, begrudgingly, is dragged along to look after his brother. They have a little bit of a set to, and it then turns out that the father of both characters were beating on the two sons, and that's why Merle left first of all, and Daryl's always really kind of resented him for it. So a nice little character piece kind of between them. Superbly acted by Michael Rooker. The kind of heartbreak in his face, his eyes when Daryl storms off, was a thing to behold. So he gets to play the pantomime villain. He plays pantomime villain very well, but in this scene it was actually heartbreaking of how much he loved his brother and the guilt that he felt for walking out. Just truly amazing acting from Michael Rooker. That also then put into play Daryl and Merle returning back to the prison. The mustache prisoner, refusing to learn his name, got a bit flirty with the skinhead woman, again refusing to learn the name, and that was a nice kind of light relief to it, although somewhat inevitably anybody who is happy in the series gets shot in the face, and that's what happens to our mustache prisoner. He's the first person to die, and actually the only person to die, with the governor's assault on the prison compound. What I find weird about that is, where were the other prisoners? No idea. Basically anyone from Tyrese's group were gone somewhere whilst all the shooting was going on, and the only person to die was the new character introduced in the series from the prison, which then makes you wonder, why did they bother introducing characters from the prison if you're not really going to do anything with them? Because we'd only met him a couple of episodes ago, there was no real emotional impact of him actually getting shot. It seemed a weird choice when there was other characters who had more impact who could have easily took that first hit. What we do see is Rick going super mental, seeing his wife all over the shop in a lovely dress, and then him wandering outside of the prison just to see her. He has a discussion with Herschel about it, where he just admits, yes, I know I'm crazy, but I've still got to do it. So it's an interesting portrayal of somebody having a mental breakdown in this circumstance. I feel for me, I've kind of warmed to him a little more from last episode. Last episode, if you watched it, wasn't a big fan of kind of his development, but with the mental breakdown, he's kind of becoming more of a rounded character, so we can't really complain too much. Somebody stepping up to try and take his place is Glenn, who, after getting beat down by Merle and concerned that Maggie may have been sexually assaulted, has got a burning rage inside of him, clouding his mind, clouding his judgment. Being the only normal person there of a kind of fighting male age, which isn't what I define normal as in any way, shape or form, he takes it on himself to take over the leadership, and he's entirely unable to do so. His aggression takes over. He then disappears for the vast majority of the episode. The governor's attack's pretty cool. He just parks up a car with 3-4 of his buddies and starts shooting people, whilst everyone in the compound tries to shoot back. He seems to get some guy in one of the towers quite easily, which I didn't quite understand. Then the coup de grace, the main set piece, is a truck driven through the gates from the compound, and then in the truck is a load of zombies. Very, very nice touch, which means the outer fences are now unprotected. Zombies can come in, the inner fences are still up, but that has narrowed down the kind of space available for the people in the prison. Again, where the people in the rest of the prison, no idea, but guess we'll just simply never know. Nobody on the good side, as you can see, or any good shots, unless they're shooting zombies. Shooting zombies, headshots, every single shot, not a bullet. Shooting human who don't move, nothing at all. That's a bit cool, you think, with all the shooting practice they have. It'd be pretty shit hot by now. It was a much better episode than the last episode. And also the last episode, they kind of put a lot of things in place, and the things they put in place has taken effect here. Rick gets stuck outside, attacked by a zombie, then yay, Daryl turns up and saves the day, as I'm pretty sure I predicted last episode. I have read all the comic books. Daryl's not a character in the comic books, but it's total standard filmmaking. You mean one of your kind of secondary characters wanders off, he's going to come back and save the day, which he kind of does. He saves Rick. I was thinking Rick was going to get bit, maybe bit in the arm and have his arm chopped off. It's quite hopeful that was going to happen. Bit of a shame it didn't. That would be a nice little link with the comic books. Be make an absolute pain in the arse to film stuff, but still, I'd be quite like to see it. So overall, a really, really good episode. Character development, action, shooting, basically everything you want in a Walking Dead TV episode. Should be interesting kind of going forward. The outcome, the fallout from the attack, whether there's going to be any then re-response from the prison to the would-be group, whether Andrea's going to know what's going on, because it seems as though the governor's playing her for a fool. So everything's setting up quite nicely. So hopefully you've enjoyed this quick review, and I'll see you next week for more The Talking Dead. Thank you very much. Good night.